So one of the top things that I hear from people when they're learning how to pick up a wakeboarder or a wake surfer is, how do I do it without swamping the entire boat? I'm Trevor Hansen with the Wake Channel, and today we are going to teach you how to pick up a rider without going through those humongous rollers that end up getting the whole bow of the boat wet. So there's a couple different things that you can do to completely avoid getting water in the bow of the boat. One has to do with the way that you drive and the way that you turn around and pick up a rider. So we're going to show you how to actually turn around at the proper speed so that you don't even have to deal with those rollers. And then we'll also show you what to do if you encounter those rollers and how to make sure that you don't get any water up over the bow. So the easiest way to completely avoid the big rollers and make sure that you don't swamp the bow of the boat is to simply turn in the opposite direction of whichever way you're surfing. This basically applies to just when you're surfing. But if you're surfing, let's say you've got a rider that's out there surfing and they are on the starboard side of the boat. If they go down, all of those rollers that are big are on the starboard side. So if you simply turn to the left and go and pick your rider up turning to the left, you won't have to deal with those big rollers when you turn around. And the same is true the other way. If you've got a rider surfing to the port, when you stop, don't turn to that side, turn to the opposite direction of whichever way you're surfing. So if you find yourself caught up in a bunch of rollers, you've got rollers coming from all different directions, you're trying to turn around and you've got a section that looks like it's gonna come over the bow, the way to avoid it is simply to come back into neutral and possibly even give a little bit of reverse. What happens is, if you've got that slow speed and you're just kind of going slow over those rollers, when you go over the first one, it causes the nose of the boat to dip down, and that's when you start to take on water. So a lot of times that can be avoided by simply coming into neutral and just waiting for the rollers to pass, or if you see that the roller is going to come up and over the boat, just giving a little bit of reverse so that you're traveling with that roller and not up against it. It won't come up over the bow. So if you're the captain that really struggles with constantly taking water over the bow, those tips will really help you a lot. So make sure that when you're surfing, whichever way that you're pulling your surfer, turn to pick them up in the opposite direction. And then if you do get into a situation where you have rollers that look like they're gonna come over the bow, go ahead and come off of plane. The speed that you have, that's the forward momentum, is what's gonna cause those rollers to come in. So pull it back into neutral, and then don't hesitate to throw a little bit of reverse in there so that you're kind of traveling with those rollers, and I promise you won't have any more water in the boat and everyone will stay comfy up there.